Hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm John Furness, and this is StarCraft 2. Spawning on the right middle side of Dash and Terminal, it is the red Protoss, ShardZ. And on the middle top leftish side of the map, representing the clan Awesome Guys, it is the blue Terran, SysBb. Both of these players are Diamond. And this cast is for r/castit. And let's see what these guys are gonna do. Nothing too crazy going on quite yet. Both will place their first pylon/supply depot in their base. SysBb is currently rank 11 in his Diamond division. This is his 5th time in Diamond. He has played 229 games so far this season with a 49% win rate. And ShardZ is in Diamond for the 2nd time this season and is currently ranked 23. He has 127 ranked games played and a 44% win rate. Both players are going for their respective fighting unit buildings in base. SysBb with his barracks and ShardZ with his gateway. SysBb did throw down that barracks first and will be getting that gas right afterwards, so probably go for the standard Reaper opening. There is a very nice path on Dash and Terminal for that Reaper to run by. Just shoop-de-whoop right on over here, jump up and start shooting at workers. ShardZ will also get his gas up after his gateway. Right now, this is the very exciting early part of the game. I have Cybernetics Core going down right away for ShardZ. Second pylon going down in the base. ShardZ is opting not to even start that first Zealot, so it looks like he'll want to rely on a Stalker and or Mothership Core once the Cybernetics Core has finished. First Reaper is on the way for SysBb, as well as the Orbital Command. Second supply depot going down on his base as well. Mules flying from the heavens to harvest more minerals, which, if David Kim and the balanced staff have their way, will not be going on for very much longer in Legacy of the Void. Do have that Reaper crossing the map. ShardZ did go to scout to see if SysBb had done a liftoff for the command center, but the probe actually did not get far enough to confirm whether or not that was there, as it got picked off by the Reaper. Mothership Core is out though now, and that should help deny this Reaper from getting too much. SysBb is throwing down his second base in the natural. And looks like ShardZ will be happy just sitting on one base for now, getting a second gas up. And he is sending his Mothership Core across the map to scout out SysBb's base. And just to completely double check that command center had not been lifted to the gold. Second gateway going down in ShardZ's base before he opts to expand. He does have warp gate technology on the way. SysBb's second command center about halfway done. ShardZ doing a little bit of harassment with his orbital command. It does take some hull damage, manages to get 2 SCV kills. Very nice, kills a Marine as well. Additional Marines popping out though should be able to push it back, and oh, looks like they're actually gonna get the kill with no recall. There is now one Stalker done for ShardZ, additional Stalker on the way. And looks like he might be going to get that Nexus now. Yes, he is. So I want to go up to those 2 bases as well. SysBb has started the orbital command on his second command center and is getting up a bunker at the front of his natural just to protect himself. Do have a third gateway being built for SysBb. Tech lab on the second one, stim on the way. And he'll be throwing down a factory as well, see if he wants to get up any Widow mines or if he just wants to get up to those medevacs. Reaper is still alive doing some scouting, but gets picked off by this nice little Stalker sandwich, but not before killing another probe. Just a pretty nice move on his part. Do have 2 Zealots coming out at a time for ShardZ, and a third gateway on the way. Twilight Council also coming, so we'll see if he decides to go into Blink or wants to get up to Templar tech faster. Two Marines, a Marauder on the way at a time for SysBb, just getting up at standard bio composition. And we'll see if the factory is going to do anything. Just throwing down that reactor and starport going down right away, so we'll probably want to go for medevacs. And we do have SysBb moving across the forest with a little squad of Marines. Marauder lumbering along behind. And at the front of ShardZ base, not too much. Couple Zealots, couple Stalkers, couple Sentries. Mothership Core is back up though, building up energy. And SysBb actually going for ShardZ Rock, so we'll see if he can get as many paths as possible into ShardZ natural base. Warp Gate technology is done for ShardZ now, and he's actually going for an earlier Zealots charge instead of Blink. These little dudes just wasting all their ammo on this pile of garbage, debris. More and more army just rallying across the map for SysBb. He does have his factory also floating forward. The two medevacs on the way at a time now. But SysBb does not want to run into that choke, as force fields could easily cut his army in half, and that would be bad news. SysBb has opted to just head back to his side of the map and throw down a third command center. ShardZ is currently scouting with a hallucinated Phoenix to see what he can see. SysBb sending two empty medevacs across the map. Nope, he catches them and decides to pull them back. Do have Templar archives on the way for ShardZ, so he will be able to get out those High Templar, get Storm on the way. Just definitely good way to go against these bio forces. Double engineering bay on the way for SysBb. It'll be the first attempt to get upgrades for him. We do have one forge done for ShardZ with the +1 armor on the way. Storm is started immediately as the Templar archives finishes. And both players just macroing up. Additional gateways coming down for ShardZ. We do not currently have any other production buildings coming down for SysBb, just that third command center to keep his money and income high. He's building additional refineries, and despite having his second base up for so long, is actually not saturated too well. So we might have been missing out on a little bit of SCV production while he was pushing across the map. His factory just chilling out on this little sky island. We do have a drop, two medevacs coming into the back of ShardZ base, and there's not much there right now. He's going to drop. He does not get there in time to cancel Storm, but probably will be able to kill that archive if he can. ShardZ army is moving up. A couple Zealots are warped in, but do not get much done. Photon overcharge, though, does go off, and not too much is accomplished by SysBb in that attack. And we did have another drop down on ShardZ Natural, and a few workers did go down. Just bringing these down in this little pathway behind ShardZ Natural to heal them up. Do have a planetary fortress finishing at SysBb's third, and ShardZ does have his third nexus on the way. We actually see a Ghost Academy on the way for SysBb, so we'll want to get out those ghosts to see if he can get off any EMPs on those High Templar. We do have all three medevacs now dropping into ShardZ main base. One medevac that's pretty full goes down. The second medevac does go down as well, and that was not too great of a move by SysBb. Losing a lot there for not much in return. ShardZ is making 3 probes at a time and getting his +2 ground armor. Do have additional barracks with tech labs finished for SysBb, and he is researching cloak for his ghosts. We do see the first ghost on the way. Armory is now on the way for him as well, so he'll be able to continue with those +2/+2 upgrades. CV's coming out to repair this medevac. We do not have too high of a medevac count right now, just 4 medevacs, as a couple of those did get cleaned up. ShardZ doing a good job here. Keep on scouting with those hallucinated Phoenix, and we still do not see this base saturated for SysBb. He has not been building too many extra workers, and main base a little bit, probably more saturated than he likes. Do have sextuple gas done now. These last 2 not quite finished yet. ShardZ doing a good job of getting his 3rd base saturated already. We do have another big drop by SysBb, 4 medevacs full of Marines and Marauders on the way. We do still have these 4 Stalkers here, so we'll see if they're able to hold this back. And it looks like they will focus down this 1 medevac right away. They do get the medevac. No, there was not focus fire, so actually all of those medevacs survive, and there's this huge force in the back of ShardZ base now. Twilight Council goes down, canceling Blink, and it looks like SysBb does just want to pull back now, and there were a couple SCVs in that army for some reason, one of them getting killed right away. ShardZ will be remaking that Twilight Council, and also getting up a robotics bay, so that he'll be able to get Colossus going, I'd assume. He's building an Archon from his High Templar. Looks pretty sweet while it's building. Like little fuzzy balls of energy. 3 medevacs again going around for SysBb. It looks like dropping is definitely his preferred method of harassment. ShardZ has a pretty good number of probes on this 3rd base. Just 1 cannon here protecting, and no army over here, so SysBb should be able to do a good amount of damage. We're see 3, 4, 5, 6 SCV probes go down very quickly. Cannon disintegrates, and SysBb, happy with the damage he has done, will pull back. SysBb is currently 3 workers ahead of ShardZ, and actually has a huge army supply lead, 103-260. ShardZ is building a proxy pylon, so we'll see if he wants to move across the map with his force at all. Does have 4 High Templar completely full of energy, but SysBb already has a handful of ghosts that have been building up their energy as well, so we'll see whether we'll see EMPs going down, snipes, or feedbacks, and who will be faster. Colossus Tech has started for ShardZ, but SysBb is already building Vikings. And SysBb does catch this proxy pylon by ShardZ with these dropping units. A bunch of Zealots are warped in, and do get a decent surround, but there's just too much bio here, and they will all get cleaned up. A couple of SysBb's units do go down, but not too much. So +2/+2 bio weapons are on the way for SysBb, as well as +1 vehicle weapons that will help buff those Vikings up for killing a Colossus. First Colossus just about done for ShardZ. He does have +2 weapons on the way, as he does have his +2 armor and +1 weapons complete. And we actually see a nuke building for SysBb. So we'll see if that manages to come into play. We have the double robo facility out for ShardZ now, with 2 Colossus on the way at a time. Extended Thermal Lance is just now beginning. And it looks like SysBb wants to put up that 4th base and just keep expanding. Since SysBb has been sitting back and not getting much done, ShardZ has been moving a lot closer in army supply and has taken the worker lead back. Hallucinated Phoenix scouts this building 4th base for SysBb, and ShardZ is throwing down his 4th base at the same time. we did see a fair amount of cannons going down in ShardZ base, as he was tired of getting dropped and barely left any room for any units to get out anyways, and those medevacs would be taking constant fire as they came in. Blink is rebuilding now, just about halfway done. We currently have 5 ghosts on the way at a time for SysBb, plus 3 weapons and armor are on their way for SysBb, as well as concussive shells for his marauders. I feel like there must be a tremendous amount of ghosts out right now. 14 ghosts against 6 High Templars, 7 Vikings against 3 Colossus, and we do have a little poke here for both of these guys, but not too much gets done. Nice storms there from ShardZ to push SysBb's army back. SysBb did have a marauder down here on the watchtower, which caught these proxy pylons, and all of these zealots will get cleaned up very quickly, as well as both of these pylons. Looks like ShardZ wants to push forward with his army again. He is still at about a 17 supply deficit when it comes to the army, although both players are just about maxed. They are both at +2/+2, and ShardZ does have his +3 armor on the way, while SysBb still has that +3/+3 going for his ground units, as well as that +2 vehicle weapons for his Vikings. Scan ahead sees nothing there, but ShardZ army will move in to defend his natural base. It's quite the choke here for SysBb. Some EMPs go off. They just hit a couple Archons though. Good storms phasing back ShardZ. Another EMP goes down but does not hit any of those High Templar. SysBb is going to move around to the other side of ShardZ's 4th base, just as ShardZ tries to throw down about 6 cannons. And ShardZ's army is out of position for this. We'll see if SysBb decides to focus down that Nexus. And looks like he will get it down fairly quickly. Storms go down on some of the bio. Pretty big storm hits there. A bunch of bio going down, as SysBb did not move away quite fast enough, and it looks like ShardZ does want to pursue. All these ghosts get caught out of position, and a bunch of them are going down, and 5-6 ghosts go down 7. They are taking this engagement now. The Vikings doing work on the High Templar. They're not being focused down, but it looks like all of this bio is going down. All of the Colossus do die. A 4th one does show up though in the last second, and it looks like SysBb will take this fight convincingly. Last Colossus does go down, and SysBb did manage to keep 2 of his Vikings alive, which he will now load into his medevacs. He's gonna go check to see if there's anywhere to drop. Well, this army supply might be a little bit deceiving, as much of it is in medevacs. 14 Marauders, 3 Marines, 1 Ghost to 11. 16 now Zealots, and 4 SCVs. Seeing all those cannons, SysBb does decide to pull back with his force. He'll want to get that 4th base up and running of his. And if SysBb just sits back like he did last time, he might just give ShardZ a chance to build up. Is a Ghost attempting to launch a nuke, and while these Zealots attacked their own gateway, he was taken out by a cannon. So ShardZ is now rebuilding the 4th base, does have additional gateways finishing up. Will definitely have good reinforcement potential. He has a pretty high amount of minerals right now, but not quite as much gas. We'll see if he just keeps pumping out those Zealots to use his mineral bank. And SysBb is also sitting on a large amount of money, almost 2,000, and is not quite maxed yet. We do have 4 Vikings out on the way at a time now, and as well as additional bio. We do have 5 more ghosts coming, and he is actually out of ghosts, so these will be the first ghosts back on the field. SysBb does currently have the worker supply lead and army supply lead by quite a bit, 53 SCVs to 46 probes, and he is about 22 ahead in army supply right now. +3 ground attack building for ShardZ, just about halfway done, and then they will be even an upgrade. Did have a Zealot warp in in SysBb's main base. And Vikings floating away, but it looks like they should be able to get this Warp Prism. Just one reactor goes down so far. Ghost Academy, will it go down? And it does, before these Zealots die. SCV's joining in the fight. These Ghosts do manage to clean everything up. During that, SysBb also did poke across the map some, but did not get much done. And ShardZ is now only down about 14 army supply and only behind 3 workers. 2 Colossus keep coming out at a time at a pretty healthy Colossus count of 4 now, with 21 Zealots and 11 Stalkers to buffer, and then those 6 High Templars for the storms. And SysBb is sitting on 27 Marauders, which will be great at absorbing any of that AoE that they need to. Back up to 10 Ghosts now and 9 Vikings. Do have 2 medevacs coming around the bottom, so see if they can get any work done. We do have a nice cannon arc by ShardZ at the top, but if SysBb drops down the bottom, it won't do too much. He is going to just run up to the front, though, see if he can focus down a cannon. ShardZ wants to throw down his 5th base. And this bio's doing pretty good work, but ShardZ's army will come around from behind, and we'll see if he gets away. No, he decides not to lift up until gets half of it, half of his drop away, with a barely living medevac. And ShardZ's 5th base goes up uncontested. So SysBb is still slightly ahead in supply, and he is now moving his army across the map as well. His +3 vehicle weapons is almost done. We'll see if he wants to start up the armor after that, which will help out both the Vikings and the medevacs. And ShardZ's army is completely out of position here, so these gateways should definitely go down. We'll see if SysBb decides to kill the Nexus as well. And he stopped attacking there for a little while. And ShardZ's army is coming around behind, though. There isn't really much places for SysBb to run. Colossus doing good work there. See if we can get any storms. 2 High Templars get EMP'd and then focus down quickly. There are some storms on the main mass of SysBb's army now, but he is just dropping up. More storms that hit more of ShardZ's army than SysBb. But SysBb is now just running into more cannons and warping in Zealots. And he's decided to sit in this corner, which is not great. All of the Vikings survived, but that was actually a really good trade for ShardZ when I feel like SysBb had the superior army at the beginning there. But SysBb lost all of his ground forces, and ShardZ looks like he wants to go push back now. These Vikings do not want to fly there. A medevac full of Marauders goes down. And all of these Vikings are very, very low and will not be able to take too many storms. There are a lot of SCVs at this base, so we'll see if ShardZ wants to clean them up, which looks like he will. And off they run. See if he actually managed to get down the base. The Vikings do come back in, but Stalkers will quickly pick them off one by one, and SysBb decides to pull back from that again. ShardZ now at double the army supply of SysBb and up 7 workers. They're both at a very low worker count. Currently have 39 workers killed by the Terran and 20 killed by the Protoss. Or, sorry, that's backwards. 39 killed of the Terran and 29 killed of the Protoss. Well, both of them are going to sit back again. SysBb did rebuild his Ghost Academies and has 2 nukes on the way at a time now. ShardZ is getting his armor his shield upgrades and is still pumping out Colossus 2 at a time. And while he's posturing back and forth in the center of the map, does not look like he is ready to push ahead. SysBb did keep that 4th command center alive, which will be very good because he's currently only mining on 1 base. He completely mined out his 3rd base and his natural. ShardZ, on the other hand, has mined out his main, his natural and is almost done with his third, but luckily he has that fifth base up that he is already mining from. And SysBb is now moving back to take his fourth base, and ShardZ army is moving to contest SysBb's natural. Good storm there, pushing back those Vikings, doing a lot of damage to all of them as they are all down in the yellow after being freshly repaired. More storms going down. It's a pretty good position for SysBb right now. And, or for ShardZ right now, sorry. SysBb is a little bit of dire straits, although their army supply has evened up as ShardZ is sitting on quite the bank and hasn't quite been doing maybe as many warpins as he could. But there is a big warp in there to help him take the lead again. Have a nice flank perhaps by these Vikings, but they are very low and SysBb needs to be careful with that. More and more ghosts coming out for SysBb, as well as that +1 vehicle armor. A little medevac and a couple marines out of position, and ShardZ looks like he is starting to get ready to push in. Maybe take down this planetary fortress. Big storms on all of SysBb's army as this planetary fortress disintegrates in front of ShardZ army. And SysBb is going to move around behind ShardZ. See what he can do. ShardZ scouts this Ghost Academy, and SysBb sends off one Hail Mary nuke before ShardZ destroys both buildings. And actually, ShardZ's whole army is right here, and oh my gosh. Wow, that was a crazy nuke hit by SysBb, and suddenly the game turns around again. And SysBb has a massive lead over ShardZ. ShardZ down to 19 army supply versus 103. Good storm still going down from these last remaining Templar, but snipes do go down on them as well, and they die. Now at 94 army supply, 229. Big Zealot warp in back at home by ShardZ. SysBb tried to take this gold base, but his army is too far out of position to contest. As I believe we do have more and more workers going down. Okay, so I was right the first time. Last time ShardZ has killed 35 workers and SysBb has killed 40 throughout the game. SysBb's army is running across. His production has managed him to get up to quite a number of bio again, but he only has 4 medevacs remaining, and these guys are pretty much stimmed to death right now and will not be able to take too many more stims without just more medevac support. Pylon being built in SysBb's 4th base mineral line, but quickly gets cleaned up by his remaining army. And so ShardZ is slowly building his army back up, now up to 52 army supply versus SysBb's 105. And this army is actually pretty beat up and might not be able to withstand. We'll see, though. Just doesn't have much health for stims. All these ghosts, though, with their EMPs will do some good work. And SysBb is going to run in. We do have 2 more Colossus, though, so Archons melting pretty quickly, as do the Zealots. But this army is so red. They do not want to run into those cannons and Colossus. And SysBb decides not to push this other base. So SysBb now only up about 20 army supply. And with ShardZ worker lead, he actually has gas income. Mules are keeping, and the not really the gold base so much, are keeping SysBb almost even, but there it does even out again. Both players really only mining on 1.5 bases. But SysBb does have the gold, which will definitely help him out some. We have 8 Marines on the way for him at a time now. ShardZ is getting his +2 shields, and ShardZ is actually throwing down a 6th base at the gold adjacent to his main. And I feel like SysBb maybe didn't take as full of advantage of his lead as he should have. and is giving ShardZ time to build his army back up to 3 Colossus now, with 2 High Templar in support. This Nexus gets lifted off. There isn't much anti-air by ShardZ. Good storm again, though, pushing back SysBb's very, very bruised and damaged force. Just 2 low health medevacs right now. And he's only building 1 Viking at a time and no medevacs. There is another command center building for SysBb, so he wants to try to get that economy going a little bit. Losing both all the command centers over here on ShardZ attack definitely did hurt some. And ShardZ actually has the overall supply lead again and is quickly catching up in army supply. Cannons going down at his 6th base to prevent any medevacs flying over and dropping in, but luckily for him, SysBb does not really have medevacs. SysBb running forward, taking out this Colossus while ShardZ is out of position. This Nexus should go down. Storm misses the army. Another storm hits a lot of the forces, which does huge damage because, again, no medevacs. And I don't think this army will be able to stand up to the Colossus. And ShardZ has taken the army supply lead again. And SysBb will have to pull back. ShardZ immediately throws down the Nexus again and is mining at full capacity from this gold base. SysBb has given up defending this gold base in the middle, as it is a little bit hard to keep ShardZ from moving up. ShardZ is also aware that SysBb does not have his upper gold, and SysBb is building another Ghost Academy, I guess hoping for some sort of miracle nuke, as he is now the one who is just barely over half the supply of ShardZ. Do have another Zealot run by on the left side, but SysBb's army will be here to absorb this. Another big stim, though, from his army. And ShardZ is going to move around from the top, and I don't think SysBb will be able to hold this, as he does not have any miracle nukes this time. No storms do go down yet. There's one on the Vikings doing pretty good damage to them. And ShardZ just doesn't look like he's quite ready to push in yet. Just doing some long-distance siege damage to this command center, picking up reinforcement Marines as they go by, and SysBb is pulling his SCVs and running in. Big storm, though, and they just start to disintegrate. And now SCVs are just fighting on their own without help from SysBb's main army. Vikings do pick off 1 Colossus, reinforcing right away, and there's not really much in the way of anti-air for ShardZ, but his ground force is dominant. 1 Archon just fighting against SysBb's Vikings, but SysBb's down to 8 workers and 18 army supply, mostly in Vikings and medevacs. Ghost does go down as ShardZ has observers, and there is the end of the game from SysBb. ShardZ takes it. Some crazy back and forth, and a miracle nuke, which I thought was going to give SysBb the game. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked the video, please like it, and feel free to subscribe so we can share some more moments like this together. Also, a huge shout out to my wife for making the awesome thumbnail art for all my videos. Feel free to check out her DeviantArt, which the link is in the description of the video. Thank you, and have a good day.